Good morning, warriors. Please join me in the pledge to the Bible. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will hide its words in my heart that I might not sin against God. Please join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to practice some of the catechism that we went over this week, and we still have new catechism to learn starting tomorrow. And I'm going to ask you, will the Lord Jesus come again? And you're going to remember there's a little exclamation part on this part, okay? You're going to say, yes, he will return to judge the world on the last day. So let's try it. Yes, he will return to judge the world on the last day. Okay? And then I'm going to say, what happens to believers when they die? And you're going to say, our bodies will return to the dust, and our souls will go to be with the Lord forever. Okay, so let's try that. What happens to believers when they die? Our bodies will return to the dust, and our souls will go to be with the Lord forever. Okay, we had a sound off last week. I say, God is opposed to the proud, and you will say, but gives grace to the humble. Let's try it. God is opposed to the proud. We have a new one this week, and it's kind of long, but you can do it. I'm going to say whatever is, and you're going to say true and noble. Say true and noble. Then I'll say whatever it is, and you're going to say just and pure. Say it. And I'll say whatever is, and you'll say lovely and of good report. Your turn. Let's try that much and see if we can get it. True and noble, just and pure, lovely and of good report. Whatever is true and noble. Whatever is just and pure. Whatever is lovely and of good report. Now I'll say if there's any, and you'll just say virtue. That's not hard. If there is any and then I'll say, and if there is anything, and you'll say, praiseworthy, think on these things. Philippians 4:8. So I'll say it with you. It's kind of long, but we can do it. And if there is anything praiseworthy, think on these things. Philippians 4:8. Now let's start back at the top. True and noble, just and pure, lovely and of good report. Whatever is, lovely and of good report. If there is any, and if there is anything praiseworthy, think on these things. Philippians 4:8. Okay, we have a new virtue this week, and this is our last virtue that we're going to learn for the year. This is the virtue of constancy. Constancy. Now, this is a kind of an old-fashioned word that we don't use very much anymore, which is a shame because it's a beautiful word. We might be more familiar with another word that kind of sounds like constancy. Can you guess what that might be? Yes, who's back there? Consistency, good. Is there another one you can think of that kind of sounds like that? Jane? Yes, constant or constantly. So constantly is something that we do all the time. Can you think of some things that we do constantly? We're constantly what? Marielle? We're constantly eating. Yes, I believe it. Yes, way back there. Constantly going to school. Olivia? I hope so. Constantly praying. Constantly breathing. Yes, that is very necessary. So constantly is what we do all the time. Constancy is who we are all the time. And here's a definition I want you to learn. Constancy is being faithful in the choices day after day. Constancy is being faithful in our choices day after day. So say that with me. Constancy is being faithful in our choices day after day. And there's a reason why we do this one last, and that is because constancy is taking all those virtues that we've learned all year long and being those virtues. So we practice them so much they become part of our character. Who had a great time at Warrior Fest? Yes, it was awesome. Okay, raise your hand if you got to play that game where you rode in the wheelbarrow with the sword and you went straight ahead. What were you trying to do? Ollie, what were you trying to do with that sword? Yes, be the first one to get your sword in that target, that circle. So constancy is kind of like that wheelbarrow game. You take all of the virtues we've learned all year long, they're part of your wheelbarrow, and you have your sword, and you are going straight ahead no matter what. So it has firm determination, and it's constantly seeking what is true, good, and beautiful, and aiming for that all the time. So you use all those virtues, you know what they are, and you are avoiding traps and temptation to run your wheelbarrow off the track, okay? It takes one good act of virtue, turns it into a habit, that then turns it into your character. Well, how can you tell if you have constancy? How can you tell if you're like that? What do you think? If you're doing something, okay? If you're doing something all the time, well, aiming for the goal of what is true, good, and beautiful. Well, you can tell if you don't have constancy if you're constantly going back and forth between good and bad choices. Okay? One day you're whimsical and you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to do whatever I want today. And the next day, oh, I'm going to be really good today. So the person who has constancy is the person that can always be counted on. They're the person that you're going to go to when you have a problem and you need to know what the right thing to do is. So today, aim your sword, have your wheelbarrow full of virtue, and walk in the same direction. Okay, and now we're going to sing our hymn of the month.
All
Be faithful in your choices today. The Lord be with you.